So you pay taxes in the metaverse too, whether it's ETH gas fees or whatever it is. You still pay taxes. You know, this utopian idea of there's no taxes, we're all free, it's bullshit. Everything has a cost in life. And that's real. And so some digital sovereign states like Solana is a cheaper tax system than the Ethereum sovereign state. You know, they're all the same. People apply a lot of kind of fancy principles, but these are all the same. And it's the same with taxes in the UK versus the Cayman Islands. You know, the UK has higher taxes, the Cayman Islands has no direct taxes. So, you know, I think it's a lot of that. I think governments just want to make sure that they get their fair share. If you're working in the digital world, right, before labor, it was hard to move labor. You know, you work in a factory in Brazil, then you had to find a job in a factory in Argentina. You need to learn Spanish. You know, that's hard. In this world, none of that exists. You can continue doing whatever digital stuff that you do from
wherever
anywhere.
You are.
From wherever you are. It's amazing.
What do you believe it's a realistic target to the crypto market cap for the next 5-10 years? And how do you get this number?
So it's currently about 2.5 trillion. If I look at all the other asset classes around the world, equities, bonds, real estate, they're all between 250 and 350 trillion. If I look at the total derivative market, it's 1 quadrillion. I think there's a reasonable chance of this being a $250 trillion asset class, which is 100x from here, which would be the largest growth of any asset class in all history in the shortest period of time. That will pretty much dovetail in with the idea that 3.5 billion people are using it by, you know, that's just extrapolating the growth numbers of the network. So if 3.5 people are billion users in 2030, well, the market cap's going to be something like 250 trillion. Yeah, it all kind of backs out pretty straightforward, just using network adoption models.
Everyone talks about these Ethereum is going to flip Bitcoin in market cap. What's your take on that? I mean, you think it's gonna happen or?
Yeah, but who cares?
Just flipping it.
I mean, who cares, right? They're two different things.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So they're two different things. I think the application growth of the network of Ethereum is currently miles larger than Bitcoin, and therefore ETH is still undervalued versus Bitcoin. But ETH will lose market share to others, and it's the whole space will go up 100x, and nobody should care what's the largest thing here. It's the whole space we're interested in.
That's why.
And Ethereum is a richer, deeper environment with more participants in the network. So it's going to be slightly more resilient at this point.
Exactly.
And that's okay. And again, people take this flippening as like, oh, well, Ethereum's now a better cryptocurrency than Bitcoin. None of us think in those terms. It's just, you know, it's like comparing Apple and Amazon. They're just different businesses. Send and store value, and they don't care how that happens. I think Bitcoin should focus on one thing, and that should be flipping in gold. If that's the narrative for Bitcoin,
that's the real flipping, right?
That's the real flipping, when Bitcoin is perceived to be a more valuable asset than gold, and that's not a million miles away. I don't care. It's for different things, different use cases, right? It's ridiculous to need the level of decentralization that Bitcoin has for certain things. And we've seen this, you know, once the further you move away from decentralization, the faster and cheaper it is. It's a trade-off. Everything in life is a trade-off. Now, some people, it matters more than anything about their Bitcoin decentralized. Great, go for it. But that's not the real thing. Is the distributed nature of the participants, the ownership, the co-ownership of the network however broad that is better than not at all. And yes, Bitcoin is the largest in that way. I just don't think it's everything here. People are getting confused looking at all of these other tokens, protocols, and trying to compare them to Bitcoin. How decentralized is it? Well, we're not talking about creating a base layer of money here. We're talking about a bankless DAO token to coalesce a group of people. It's a different thing.
And how much do you have?
No,
if you want to talk about
I have a few NFTs just to figure it out. I think NFTs are still hugely risky to know what community you're part of. Is that community going to be anything? So I've got this Affen mit Waffen, which is German for guns with apes, apes with guns, which is one of the guys who started the Real Vision bot, started a community around these things that are based on sentiment of Real Vision interviews.
Nice.
And each one has a story. One comes out every day, so there's only ever going to be like 250 of these things. And basically it's a bunch of Real Vision fanatics and others. So I've got a couple of those because I want to see where it goes. I mean, and they go up in price a lot, which is quite amazing. I mean, they're not massively valuable, but they're like 5, 6, 7 ETH now. But I'm interested to watch what that community does. Real Vision's just launched an NFT that's attached to this new pro crypto tier, the research tier, again to create community around. I'm not and I was given an NFT. Other than that, I'm not a collector. I'm really interested in the community variation of this right now. I get NFT art, but just not my thing particularly.